Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is Christmas Eve. I hope everyone is having a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. I didn't want to cover this story today because it's obviously the holidays. A lot of you are enjoying your families. A lot of you may not want to hear about another ritual murder. But the reason I decided to do this video is because you never know if the family members of these rappers who are constantly being killed, if they come across this video. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put out this video because I don't know what may happen to me tomorrow, So if I have the opportunity to do it today, I'm going to do it. Because so many rappers, so many innocent people, so many young people are being killed. And a lot of people are confused. They don't understand why. I was reading the reporting of the rapper Cutty who was just recently murdered. And his mother spoke. And she was confused. She's saying that she was blaming it on jealousy and envy. And she's saying that the reason her son was killed is because he made it as a rapper, and that's far from the case. Her son was killed ritualistically, and if the family members of Cutty or if the family members of the mother come across this video, please do not dismiss it as conspiracy. Listen to the stuff that I'm about to explain and then do your own investigations. I don't have a lot of details on Cutty but I don't know his age. I don't know what day he was born and stuff like that. But the stuff that they already reported, I think that's enough for us to see what really happened to Cutty And if you read the reporting, it says that his death may be connected to another rapper who was killed on October 30th. Something that I missed earlier this year. This guy's name is Juice Boy. He was shot and killed in San Jose as well. So both Cutty and Juice Boy, they are both from the same city, and they were killed just a couple of months apart from each other. And the way you can tell that that's what's really going on, that these people are being ritualistically murdered, it's by understanding the language of Gematria. So if anybody that's watching this video is related to any of these rappers, you have to listen and do not dismiss this video as conspiracy, because this video can help you find out what really happened to both of these men. So let's start off with the more recent death, right? The rapper Cutty He was shot and killed in a bank on December 19th. And the headline reads, "Man killed near San Mateo shopping center was rap artist. Police investigating connection between shooting and October 30 killing," right? The October 30 killing was the death of Juice Boy, another rapper from San Jose. So why would the police assume that these two murders are connected? Why would they assume that? I'll tell you why. It's because these two deaths are connected, and both of these men were killed by the same people. And those people are probably in that police department. But it says here that a man shot and killed outside of Wells Fargo's bank at the Hillsdale Shopping Center in San Mateo December 19th has been identified as Melota Lamafa Lassie Jr. It says here he was 30, but there's other reports that say he was in his late 30s. So I don't know how accurate this is, but let's assume he was 30 years old. Of San Jose, the San Mateo County Coroner's Office said, Lassie was a rap artist who performed under the name Cutty San Mateo's police are investigating any connection between his murder and the recent killing of Yuida Salvilio Muasica Jr., another 30-year-old, an artist who performed under the name Juice Boy. Muasica was shot and killed on the 19th Avenue Park neighborhood of San Mateo, October 30th. Both murders happened around 9:30 a.m. And both men were specifically targeted and killed. Well, that's because both of these men were not only were they killed by the same people, but they was killed by probably the same police department. To be honest, I don't want to say that because I'm not 100% sure that that's what happened. But the song "Murder by Numbers," that is a song performed by the band The Police. And a lot of times, these reportings are being told by the police. Right? How come the police is making this connection with these two rappers? I mean, they don't even have a suspect. Why would they just assume that these two deaths are related? Huh? They're saying that Juice Boy, he was killed on 19th Avenue, 19, a number that we always talk about here. Because in Gematria, the word rap is 19 and the word shot is 19. That number shows up a lot when it comes to rappers. Notice how shot is 62. We're going to talk about that number a lot in the connection of, in both of these cases, right? It connects both of these rappers, the number 62. And this is how, right? So, the rapper Cutty Banks, his stage name in Gematria is sums to 62, just like the word sacrifice and Faustian bargain. We always talk about the number 62. It shows up a lot. Not only with rappers, but with other entertainers as well. We just had the death of Tommy Lister, the actor from Friday who played as Debo. He died at the age of 62. And he died from coronavirus. And coronavirus, it has a connection to the number 62. Because when you write out coronavirus pandemic, it sums to 293, the 62nd prime number. And that number always shows up, right? Sacrifice, 62. Faustian bargain is the deal that these rappers do when they sign their contracts with these record labels. Faustian bargain is known as a deal with the devil. Selling your soul to the devil for material gain. That's what a Faustian bargain is. And it has that gematria of 62, like sacrifice. The reason I say the number 62 connects both of these rappers is because Juice Boy, this was the first murder that happened on October 30th. He was shot on the day leaving 62 days left in the year. October 30th, right? So he dies on the day leaving 62 days left in the year. And then Cutty Banks, his name sums to 62. Right? The sacrifice gematria. Also, for the more recent one, the Cutty Banks murder, notice his name sums to 35. That's another number that we talk about a lot here. Rap is 35. So many rappers die at the age of 35 because of that reason. Remember, rap is 19, but rap is also 35 because there's 4 ciphers. The alphabetic order forwards and backwards. That's all this is, right? So rap forwards is 35. In reverse with the rules of numerology, rap is 19. Juice Boy was killed on 19th Avenue or 19th Street. And Cutty Banks, he died on a day with 35 numerology. And he was born Melota Lassie, and his name sums to 35, like Catholic. And the reason I bring up the Catholic is because it's probably the Catholic Church conducting these rituals. They're the ones who have these beliefs that words and numbers have some type of power. And this is why they conduct these rituals. This is all witchcraft, really, is what it is. Serving the devil. This stuff is very much biblical. This stuff is really deep. It's more than what I'm explaining in this video, but I'm trying to keep it real basic because if there's anybody new here, I just want you guys to see the more simple stuff about these murders, right? These are the simple decodes. If you notice the four ciphers, Melota Lassie is sums to 107. The word shooting is 107. This man was shot and killed, right? His name is also 35. He was killed on a day with 35 in numerology. His name is also 163, and that's the 38th prime number. 38, a number that connects probably to every rapper that has died recently. Every rapper this year, somehow, some way, they connect to the number 38. And that number also connects both Juice Boy and Cutty Banks, right? We'll talk about that in a few seconds. But his name sums to 163 to 38 prime. Rappers 38, murders 38. The word death, killing, R.I.P. all 38. One of the numbers I think I talk about the most in the videos that I make. 38. His name also sums to 64. The word kill is 64, and that was a big number with the King Von shooting. Remember the rapper King Von from Chicago, who was also murdered this year? He was killed on the 311th day of the year. That's the 64th prime number. And if you listen to any of the records that King Von made, he always says that he's from 64th Street. And then the guy dies on the 311th day of the year, the 64th prime. And his name even sums to 64, but that's a different story. But what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that these same numbers, they show up a lot with all of the rappers and a lot of celebrities as well. For one more 35, a rapper this year, his name was Fred the Godson. You can just Google Fred the Godson. He died from coronavirus as well, and he was 35 years old. Right? He was 35. He died earlier this year. I covered his death. Rap is 35. This was another rapper, and he died 62 days after his birthday from coronavirus, right? Coronavirus has that 62 connection. Like how Tommy Lister died at the age of 62 from coronavirus. It's the same thing with all of these celebrities all the time. But so that was Cutty Banks, right? So Cutty Banks, he dies on a day with 35 numerology. His name sums to 107 like shooting. Right? That's this rapper. I wish I had his birthday because then I would measure from his last birthday to the day he was killed. And I bet you're going to see some interesting numbers. He probably died either 44 days after his birthday or 46 days after his birthday. The word shooting is 44. The word sacrifice is 46. I'm not sure what his date of birth is, but it's always the same thing. These patterns are very consistent. In the case of Juice Boy, let's read into his murder. It says that San Mateo police are investigating reports this week of 3 separate shootings. One unconfirmed, believed to be connected to the homicide that took place the morning of Friday, October 30 in the 19th Avenue Park neighborhood. The first shooting this week took place at 1:12 a.m. 1:12, that's a very common number, right? The Jesuits, they operate in 112 nations, right? 112. All of these numbers that these people report, they are all significant, and I'll explain in a second. So Sunday, November 1st, on the 900 block of South Norfolk Street, where officers encountered an uncooperative crowd, learned someone from a vehicle shot into the backyard. The second shooting was at the same location at 2:28 a.m. The word death in Gematria sums to 228. That's why they report in this time. Thursday, November 5th, 11:05, the killing is 115. With sounds of a vehicle fleeing the area, both appeared to be targeted and isolated to this address. Reports of another shooting in the 600 block of Edna Way in the 19th Avenue Park neighborhood at 2:57 a.m. 2:57. Blood sacrifice is 2:57 in Gematria. This happened at 2:57 a.m. I mean, how is that possible that they know the exact time and date? Well, they don't know the date, but what the exact time? How are they so accurate? And why didn't they report that it happened at 3 a.m.? No, they want to specify that it happened at 2:57. I mean, how is that possible? There's gunshots going off. How is the police department so accurate with the time that shooting happened? It's just remarkable how they always know the exact time. 2:57, right? Blood sacrifice. And it says here that that happened. That third shooting also happened on November 5th. Okay. So there was 3 shootings in connection to Juice Boy, right? Juice Boy. 3 shootings the same day that he was killed. But he was killed on October 30th. That was a day with 44 numerology. Shooting is 44. Kill is 44. Execution is 44. I want you guys to notice the gematria of execution. Execution also sums to 116. And this article here, notice what day they put it out. On November 6th. Right? He died on the 30th of October. But they waited till November 6th to report his death. And the reason they did that is because November 6th is written 11/6 like 116, and execution sums to 116. And that was a day with a 44 numerology, the day that he was killed. Execution is 116 and 44. At the end of the video, I'm going to explain to you guys the 4 ciphers. I know a lot of you like, how does it equal this and that? I'll explain it at the end. But that's why they're reporting his death on November 6th and not the day that he died, because he died on the 30th. Why did they wait a whole week to come out with this article? But notice the gematria of Juice Boy. It sums to 74 and 38, right? Another 38 connection. Right? We just had Cutty Banks. His real name sums to 163, the 38th prime number. And now this rapper, his stage name connects to 38. And notice 74 and 38, those are numbers. I mean, I could be here all day talking about those 2 numbers. Those 2 numbers are like the numbers when it comes to rapper rituals, rapper murders. Right? I think Tupac sums to 74 and 38. Well, Tupac sums to 74, and I think he died on a day with 38 numerology. They always bring those 2 numbers together, 74 and 38, right? Biggie Smalls, 74. Biggie Smalls also died on a day with 38 numerology. But unless the rapper is 74 and 38, Lucifer is 74 and 38. That's who these people are paying tribute to when they do these rituals. Because a lot of these men are signing their life away to Lucifer. I know a lot of you may think that this is just some conspiracy stuff, but it's not. I mean, just look at the numbers. These numbers do not lie, you know. Killing 74 and 38. Gematria. That's the practice that we are talking about here. Right? There's a song called Gematria, the Killing Name. This is the code that they use to murder these celebrities. The code of letters and numbers. Gematria is 74 and 38 like English. Right? It's the English language that's used for killing. And as for Juice Boy, just notice his name in connection to Gematria. Right? The code that killed him. It's perfect in all 4 of the ciphers. And again, you know, if you guys are new here, this stuff is really easy. Really easy. It's the alphabetic order. A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, the 26th letter, right? A is the first letter in the alphabet. It sums to 1. A is 1. B is 2. B is the second letter. So every letter has a numerical value. In this cipher here, the English ordinal cipher. So A is 1 in this cipher. B is 2. C is 3. D is 4. All the way to Z, the 26th letter. And this cipher is a little bit different because what you're doing in this cipher is you're converting the double-digit letters into single-digit numbers. So, for example, J, that's the 10th letter in the alphabet. The way you convert it into a single digit is by adding the numbers together. So 10 is a double-digit number. So the way you convert it is by adding 1 plus 0. 1 plus 0 is 1, right? So J becomes 1 when you reduce it into a single digit. And you do that for every single letter. Every single letter has to be a single digit. All the double digit letters, you compress them together, right? So J is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. These two ciphers is the alphabetic order in reverse. So in this cipher, A is actually 26, so you count back down to Z is 1. And then you add the rules of numerology in this cipher with the alphabetic order in reverse. Just notice how his stage name is perfect with Gematria. That is not a coincidence. Because those are the numbers that we always see in these rituals, right? This is not exclusive to either Juice Boy or Cutty Banks. 74. I just showed you how Biggie Smalls' name sums to 74. Tupac sums to 74. If you look at the day that Tupac and Biggie were killed, they were killed on days with 38 numerology. And the reason 38 shows up so much is because the word death equals 38. Right? Killing is 38. R.I.P. is 38. And of course, murder is 38. They use that number the most, really. 38. And that is one of the reasons why I decided to write a book, and I'm releasing this book on the 38th day of the year. Because in this book that I'm writing, the number that I talk about the most is the number 38. It shows up every single time. Every single time. Either the rapper's name or the celebrity's name sums to 38. I mean, earlier this year we had the rapper Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke from Brooklyn. He was shot and killed, right? Pop Smoke, he was 38. We had another rapper this year. His name was King Face. His name sums to 38. And if you look up King Face's death, you guys want to take a guess how old King Face was? If you said 38, then you was right. He was 38 years old. The rapper King Face. Right? Rapper 38, King Face 38. And then he dies at the age of 38. Shows up all the time. But trying to show you guys that this stuff is really repetitive, really consistent. And these two rappers, their deaths are definitely connected. I mean, if you look up the crime rate in San Jose, California, the crime rate is like, they average around 1 murder a year. Literally, they average like 1 killing a year. These two men died with 2 months apart from each other. And the day that Juice Boy died, there was 3 shootings that same day. But look up the crime rate in San Jose. It's very low. And which goes to show you, like, maybe these people are not really dying, you know, because it's like, sometimes I wonder about that. I don't like to get into that because it's like, it's just these people, their deaths is very suspicious. Like, for example, Pop Smoke. I mean, the guy gets killed in Beverly Hills. I mean, I don't know what the crime rate is in the Beverly Hills, but I guarantee you it's very low. That is a very rich area. You know, ain't no gangsters going to be walking around and not being stopped by the police. Just strange. But another thing that you guys should notice is that with all of these rappers, how many times do they find the killers? I mean, Tupac Shakur died in 1996. They still haven't found his murderer. Biggie Smalls was killed in 97. His case is still cold. Pop Smoke was killed on the 19th of February, and they don't have his killer yet. And, you know, sometimes when they do find the killer, they'll just blame it on the person that had nothing to do with it, just to satisfy the media. So it's another thing that you have to watch out for, because these people love to deceive, love to lie. But the moral of the story is that these rappers they're not really being killed over no jealousy. You know, these people signed on the dotted line, and a lot of them do know what they did. You know, a lot of them do know that they signed their life away, because if you look at these people's pictures, Like Cutty Banks, for example. If you look at his images, he does a lot of the 666 fingers in his photos, and he does a lot of the Masonic poses and stuff like that. So it's like these people know what they did. They know what they signed up for. So there shouldn't be no mystery to them. All right, this hand posture right here. This is all masonry right here. And we see a lot of Donald Trump does that a lot when he's sitting down and speaking to the media. Look out for this pose. You're gonna see it a lot with these entertainers. They do it often. So that goes to show that these people do know what they did. And now look at this one. Right? I think this is the thumbnail that I chose. Right, 666 fingers. Yeah. I don't know if they know that they're gonna be ritualistically killed, but they definitely know that they signed on the dotted line, and they are serving Satan. I think they know that much. So so same thing. Same numbers, same patterns. You know, I could be here all day just talking about 44 and 74 and 38. I mean, this video will probably be 6 hours long if I go through my blog looking at all the 74 and 38 cases this year. But just want to say rest in peace to both of these men. You know, it's unfortunate. I hope his mother or his family members come across this video and understand that these people were murdered by their record label, by the Catholic Church, by their police department. Those are the people you guys should be questioning in connection to the murder of these rappers. It's not because of envy or jealousy or any other bullshit. These people signed their life away. It's called the 4C bargain. But just want to say happy holidays to everybody. And rest in peace to Cutty Banks and Juice Boy. Right. So enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, guys. I appreciate you. Happy holidays, everybody.